So when I was 4 years old, I was assayed by my cousin, my adult cousin. Ayahuasca took me back to that moment. The first time it happened to me and he had left the room, I remember 4-year-old me sitting there and looking across the room. And I do specifically remember this when I was 4, that there was something across the room that I kept staring at. And I just didn't, there was nothing there, but I just kept feeling like something was in the room. Ayahuasca takes me back to that one moment. And now ayahuasca me standing in that room staring at 4-year-old me, and that same moment of when he left me and I was just in the bed by myself. Turned to be like this full circle moment, and this is the part that tripped me up the most, was there I was looking at 4-year-old me. All that time, I was always staring at myself in the room, even when I was 4. If that doesn't make sense. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly. Within that moment, I freeze. And the thing about ayahuasca is if you don't do what you're supposed to do within the moment, you don't move on to the next thing. You stay in it. So I was staying there until I heard a voice that said, go hug yourself. And I was like, I can't do it. I was just frozen in time. We stayed stagnant within that moment for a while. 4-year-old me and ayahuasca me just staring at each other. I walked over to myself. I said, I'm sorry. That was a hard moment. Think you've moved on as an adult and you're no longer on it, you know what I mean? But ayahuasca felt like I needed to heal that moment, and I guess which I did. The themes that are recurrent within my life that ayahuasca showed me is death and love. The next scenario was now more of a present part in my life that I'm dealing with, which is death. As you know, at the beginning part of ayahuasca, it shows me that I didn't deal with death properly the first time. And you know, the universe has a very cruel way of making you learn a lesson. So in this lifetime, a lot of people that I know have passed on. My grandparents, my parents, aunts, cousins, and the list goes on. In this period of the vision, I am now visiting all of those people who have passed on. It starts off with my grandmother, and she appears to me and she smiles. So, which I understood that are telling me you are not alone on your journey. That's what I got from it, why they appeared. Move on to my aunt. She's my favorite aunt. She passed from cancer, and she looks at me and she also smiles. My mother's mother also appeared to me. It's kind of was just telling me, this is your team and you are on this journey, but we are here and we got your back, girl. When I did this ayahuasca, my mother had recently passed, within the same year. Her death was pretty still fresh. When she came to me in ayahuasca, all she said to me was, daughter. And child, I broke down crying in them people place. Whenever you do ayahuasca, make sure you trust your shamans, because you don't know what you're gonna see and you don't want to be in a judgy space. When my mother came and appeared to me, I broke down more so than I was already breaking down. It got intense. So it was very quick. It did something to me. It brought up all of those emotions of me not really grieving her death. Same thing that happened at the beginning and within my past life. Made me understand that I wasn't grieving her properly, because as soon as she showed up, man, I started bawling. The shamans that were within the room with me were husband and wife. They didn't really speak English, and my Spanish is good enough that we communicated pretty well. They were so sweet to me, because this was a part of the situation where I really started to break down once I heard my mother's voice.